Dear students, this is Divya, PSL Degree College, Rajanagara. మనం ఫిఫ్త్ సెమిస్టర్ థర్డ్ ఇయర్ ఫిఫ్త్ సెమిస్టర్ బ్యాంకింగ్ గురించి వాళ్ళు తెలుసుకున్నాము. బ్యాంకింగ్ అంటే మనకి తెలిసిందే. బ్యాంక్ అనేది మనం డైలీ లైఫ్లో ఎప్పుడు యూస్ చేస్తూనే ఉంటాము. అంటే మనకు కావాల్సిన ఆర్థిక వ్యవహారాలన్నింటినీ కూడా మనం ఏం చేస్తామంటే బ్యాంక్ ద్వారా మనం బ్యాంకింగ్ వ్యవహారాలన్నీ మనం చేస్తూ ఉంటాం. సో ఈ బ్యాంకింగ్ అనేది ఏంటి అనేది కనుక మనం సేవింగ్స్ చేసుకోవడానికి కానీ, లేదా మనీని విత్డ్రాల్ చేసుకోవడానికి కానీ, లేదా ఎవరికైనా మనం మనీని ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ చేయడానికి కానీ, ఇంకా అనదర్గా బిజినెస్ ట్రాన్సాక్షన్స్ అన్నీ కూడా త్రూ ది బ్యాంక్ ద్వారానే మనం చేస్తూ ఉంటాం. సో ఈ బ్యాంక్ అంటే ఏంటి అంటే, బ్యాంక్స్ ఆర్ ద ఓల్డెస్ట్ అండ్ బిగ్గెస్ట్ అండ్ ఫాస్టెస్ట్ గ్రోయింగ్ ఫినాన్షియల్ ఇంటర్మీడియట్స్ ఇన్ ఇండియా. ఈ బ్యాంక్ అనేది ఏంటి అంటే ఓల్డెస్ట్ అండ్ బిగ్గెస్ట్ అంటే చాలా పెద్ద అయినటువంటి ఇది ఫినాన్షియల్ ఇంటర్మీడియట్ అనమాట. ఫినాన్షియల్ యొక్క ఆర్థిక సంబంధమైనటువంటి వ్యవహారాలన్నింటినీ నడిపే ఒక పెద్ద వ్యవస్థే ఈ బ్యాంకింగ్ వ్యవస్థ. టుడే బ్యాంక్స్ ఆర్ పార్సల్ ఆర్ అవర్ డైలీ లైఫ్. ఈ బ్యాంక్ అనేది మనం ఈ రోజుల్లో చూస్తే బ్యాంక్ అనేది మన డైలీ లైఫ్లో ఒక పార్ట్ అయిపోయింది. బ్యాంకింగ్తో ట్రాన్సాక్షన్స్ అనేవి మనం తరచుగా చేస్తూనే ఉంటాం. సో banks meets the needs and requirements of farmers, businessmen, enterprises, governments and other segments of society. Banks meet the needs and requirements of farmers, businessmen, entrepreneurs and government and other segments of society. ఈ బ్యాంకింగ్ అనేది మన బిజినెస్లో కానీ ఒక బిజినెస్ మ్యాన్, అలాగే ఎంటర్ప్రెన్యూర్, అలాగే గవర్నమెంట్ అన్నీ కూడా మన యొక్క అవసరాలను తీర్చడానికి ఈ బ్యాంకింగ్ వ్యవస్థ అనేది ఉంది. బ్యాంక్స్ కంట్రిబ్యూట్స్ టు స్పీడ్ అప్ ద ఎకనామిక్ గ్రోత్ ఆఫ్ కంట్రీ బై మొబిలైజింగ్ స్కేర్ ఫైనాన్షియల్ రిసోర్సెస్ ఫర్ ప్రొడక్టివ్ పర్పసెస్. ఈ ఫైనాన్షియల్ బ్యాంక్ అనేది కంట్రిబ్యూట్ టు స్పీడప్ అంటే ఎకనామిక్ గ్రోత్ని స్పీడప్ చేయడానికి ఈ బ్యాంకింగ్ వ్యవస్థ మనకు తోడ్పడుతూ ఉంటుంది. ఇంకా బ్యాంకింగ్ యొక్క డెఫినేషన్ చూస్తే, అకార్డింగ్ టు ద ఏ బ్యాంక్ ఈజ్ ఏ పర్సన్, ఫర్మ్ ఆర్ కంపెనీ హ్యావింగ్ ప్లేస్ ఆఫ్ బిజినెస్ వేర్ క్రెడిటర్స్ అండ్ ఆర్ అపాయింట్ బై ద డిపాజిటర్ ఆర్ కలెక్షన్ ఆఫ్ మనీ ఆర్ కరెన్సీ సబ్జెక్ట్స్ టు ఆర్ పెయిడ్ ఆర్ రిక్వైర్డ్ upon draft check order or where money is advanced or loaned on stock. మనం బ్యాంక్స్ ద్వారా బ్యాంకింగ్ అంటే ఏంటంటే యాక్చువల్గా మనం పొదుపు చేసే జనరల్గా చెప్పుకోవాలంటే పొదుపు చేసే వ్యక్తుల దగ్గర నుంచి మనం కొత్తగా పెట్టుబడి పెట్టే వాళ్ళకి మనం లోన్ రూపంలో ఇచ్చే వ్యవస్థే ఈ బ్యాంకింగ్ వ్యవస్థ. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, ఒక వ్యక్తి బ్యాంక్లో కొంత అమౌంట్ని డిపాజిట్ చేశాడు అనుకోండి. ఆ డిపాజిట్ అంటే ఒక ఖాతాదారుడికి బ్యాంకుకి అతను ఒక ఖాతాదారుడు అవుతాడు. అలాగే తను చేసిన డిపాజిట్ ఇంకొంతమంది ఎవరైనా కొత్తగా పెట్టుబడి పెట్టి వ్యాపారం చేయదలుచుకున్న వాళ్ళు ఎవరైతే ఉన్నారో వాళ్ళకి ఈ అమౌంట్ని ఏం చేస్తారంటే కొంత రుణం రూపంలో ఇస్తారు. దీన్ని మనం బ్యాంకింగ్ వ్యవస్థ అని అంటాం. అలాగే బ్యాంక్ ద్వారా మనం చెక్స్ ద్వారా కానీ, లేదా కోచెస్ ద్వారా కానీ మనం ఏం చేస్తుంటే బ్యాంక్స్ ట్రాన్సాక్షన్స్ అనేవి చేస్తూ ఉంటాం. అలాగే ఈ బ్యాంకింగ్ వ్యవస్థ అనేది మన జీవితంలో ఒక పార్ట్ అన్నమాట. సో అలాగే దీని ఫీచర్స్ మనం చూస్తే, కమర్షియల్ బ్యాంక్స్ యొక్క ఫీచర్స్ ఆఫ్ ఏ కమర్షియల్ బ్యాంక్స్ యొక్క ఫీచర్స్ మనం చూస్తే, డీలింగ్ ఇన్ మనీ అంటే ఏంటంటే బ్యాంక్స్ ఏంటంటే దేంతో డీలింగ్ అనేది చేస్తూ ఉంటుందని అంటే కనుక మనీ. బ్యాంకింగ్ వ్యవస్థ ఎప్పుడు కూడా మనీతో ట్రాన్సాక్షన్స్ అనేవి చేస్తూ ఉంటారు కాబట్టి డీలింగ్ ఇన్ మనీ. బ్యాంక్ ఈజ్ ఫైనాన్షియల్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ which deals with the money of other people. Bank is financial organization which deals with the money or other people. that is money provided by customers in form of deposits. That is money provided by the customers in form of deposits. Individual or firm or company. Individual or firm of company. A bank may be in an individual, a firm or a joint stock company. A bank may be an individual, a firm or a joint stock company. A bank company refers to a company which is in the business of banking. A banking company refers to a company which is the business of a banking. Acceptance of deposits. And third one, acceptance of deposits. Acceptance of deposits. A bank accepts money form of customers in the form of deposits, which are generally payable on demand or after the expiry of a specified period. A bank accepts many form of a customers in the form of a performs the role deposits, which are generally payable on demand after the expiry of specific period. And fourth feature of commercial bank is provide safety to money. Provide safety to money. A bank provides a safety to the money of its clients. It also performs the role of custodians of funds of its customers. And other one is feature of commercial bank is advancing loans. Advancing loans. A bank lends out money is form of advance or loans to those who needs in for different purpose. The public can borrow money from banks to meet their needs and requirements. And another feature of commercial banking, payment and withdrawal. And sixth feature is payment and withdrawal. A bank offers easy payment and withdrawal facility to its clients through check and drafts. It also brings and money in circulations. This money circulations is the form of checks, drafts, etc. And seventh feature of commercial bank is agency and utility services. Agency and utility services. A bank offers different banking facilities to its clients, which involve general facility services and agency services. And the seventh feature of commercial bank is agency and utility services. And eighth feature of a commercial bank is profit and service orientation. Profit and service orientation. A bank being a financial intermediary is a profit-seeking institutions having service-oriented approach. A bank being a financial intermediary is a profit-seeking institutions having a service-oriented approach. And the ninth feature is ever-increasing function. Ever-increasing functions. Banking is an evolutionary approach. A bank expands and differentiates regularly as regard the functions, services and activities. And 10th feature is banking businesses. And 10th feature of commercial bank is banking businesses. The main function of a bank should be to perform banking business, which should not be subsidiary of any other businesses. Banking businesses. The main function of a bank should be to perform banking businesses, which should not be subsidiary of any other businesses. And And another feature of commercial bank is name identity. And the last but not least feature is name identity. Name identity. A bank should always add the word bank to its name to enable public to know that it is a bank and it is deals in money and debts. 11th feature of commercial bank is name identity. Name identity. A bank should always and the word bank to its name to enable public to know that it is a bank and it deals in money and debts. And features of commercial banking are 11 features is there. So first one is dealing in money, and second one is individual or firm or company, and third one is acceptance of deposits, and fourth one is provide safety to money, and fifth feature is advancing loans, and sixth feature of commercial bank is payment and withdrawal, and seventh feature of commercial bank is agency and utility services, and eighth feature of commercial bank is provide profit and service organization, and ninth commercial bank feature is ever increasing functions, and 10th feature of commercial bank is banking business, and last feature of commercial banking is name identity. And next one, origin of word bank and origin of word bank. The term bank is being used since long time, but there is no clear conception regarding its beginning. According to one viewpoint, the Italian money lenders were known as benchers or bencheri because these people kept a special type of table to transact their business called banchi. According to another viewpoint, the word bank is derived from the German word bank, which means heap or a mound. Italians started using the name banco, which meant accumulation either of many or of stock, and origin of modern banking. And now coming to point, origin of modern banking. There is no clear idea regarding the starting of a banking system as the banking activities and had started is different countries in different periods of time. Different countries in different periods of time. The origin of banking systems can be traced to the origin of authentic history. The precious of Greek temples carried on a thriving business of safekeeping and leading centuries before the evolution of modern banking. And banking existed in its crude from Indian earlier as the Vedic area. The Manu records contain refers as deposits, ledgers, policies of loans, and the rate of interest, etc. With the growth of industry, trade, and commerce, the banking system also grew over a long period of time and gained maturity. The earlier bankers were Gladsmith, who deals in the precious metal, and metals and as such had a arrange for the safety of their treasures. People with surplus gold or money gradually began to deposit their precious metal with such persons. Evolution of banking in India. Evolution of banking in India. Origin of banks in India. Banking in Indian Orient originated in the last decades of 18th century. The first banks were the General Bank of India, which started in 1786, and the Bank of Hindustan, which started in 1770. English and next English agency houses. English agency houses. The East India Company established the English agency houses. Basically, the agency houses were trading firms and carrying on banking activities, a part of their main business. These agency was failed and vanished during the third decades of 18th century because of lack of their own capital. Presidency banks. In the first half of the 19th century, the foundation for the modern banking in India was laid down by the East India Company with the establishment of following three presidency banks. And first presidency bank is Bank of Bengal in 1809, and second presidency bank is Bank of Bombay in 1840, and third presidency bank is Bank of Madras in 1843. All three presidency banks were established under the charter from the British East India Company. The presidency banks acted as quasi-central bank for many banks during Swadeshi movement. During the last part of 19th century and early phases of 20th century, the Swadeshi movements also includes the establishments of a number of banks with Indian management. Bank like the Bank of India Limited 1906, the Canara Bank Limited in 1906, the Indian Bank Limited 1907, the Bank of Baroda Limited 1908, and the Central Bank of India Limited in 1911, and many more were established. But most of the big banks went bankrupt due to serious banking crisis during 1913 and 1913 to 18. The Imperial Bank of India. In 1920, the Imperial Bank of India Act was enacted to augment the three presidency banks. The Imperial Bank of India was established in 1921 to hold government funds and manage public debt. However, it was not authorized to issue the currency. And next, Reserve Bank of India. On the recommendation of the Banking Inquiry Committee, the Reserve Bank of India Act was enacted in 1934 to constitute the Reserve Bank of India in 1935. The main tasks of RBI were to regulate the issue of bank notes, securing monetary stability in the country, and to operate the currency and credit system of India to its economic growth. Reserve Bank of India was initially established as a private shareholders, a bank with a fully paid up capital for 5 crores. And next, nationalization of Reserve Bank of India. Nationalization of Reserve Bank of India. In 1948, RBI Act was passed to nationalize the Reserve Bank. On January 1st, 1949, Reserve Bank of India was nationalized. The central government acquired the whole share capital of the bank from the private shareholders against compensations. And next, Banking Regulation Act 1914. Coming to the point, Banking Regulation Act 1949. In 1949, Banking Regulation Act was enacted, which empowered the Reserve Bank of India regulate, control and inspect the bank in India banking. Regulation Act 1949 also provided that no new bank or branch of an existing bank could be appointed without the licenses from the Reserve Bank of India, and no two banks could have common directors. State Bank of India Act 1955. State Bank of India 1955. And next, State Bank of India Act was enacted in 1955 to nationalize the Imperial Bank of India. State Bank of India Act 1955. State Bank of India Act was enacted in 1955 to nationalize the Imperial Bank of India. State Bank of India emerged with the objective of extension of banking facilities a large scale, especially in the rural and semi-urban areas, and for various other public purposes. And next, State Bank of India Act. State Bank of India Act. Subsidiary banks, that is subsidiary banks. State Bank of India Act was passed in 1959, by which the public sector was further extended. The following banks were made the subsidiaries